Well, hello viewers, good evening and welcome to News and Trends. You're watching the Daily News Bulletin with me, KV Nurumi. In the next 10 minutes, we will try to bring you all the latest news and updates on the coronavirus pandemic from across the world, the nation, the region, and from the state as well. So stay tuned. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Ministry of Home Affairs allows more shops to open with conditions amid COVID-19 lockdown. COVID-19 death toll rises to 775, cases climb to 24,506, says the Health Ministry. And School Education Department gives advisory to conduct online classes for the students in Nagaland. Now the details. In a huge sigh of relief to many people across the country, the Ministry of Home Affairs MHA has exempted shops in residential complexes and market complexes except shops in multi-brand and single-brand malls outside limits of municipal corporations to open. Easing lockdown restrictions further for non-containment zones, the Union Home Ministry has now stated that shops in residential complexes are now allowed to reopen. In an order passed late Friday night, the MHA stated that all shops under Shops and Establishment Act of States and Union Territories, including shops in residential complexes and market complexes, except shops in multi-brand and single-brand malls outside limits of municipal corporations, have now been exempted from the centre's revised consolidated lockdown restrictions. The premise for reopening these stores now rests strictly on store owners operating on a 50% strength of workers, with wearing of masks and social distancing being mandatory. The order further highlights that neighborhood and standalone shops within the confines of the municipal corporations have also been exempted. Meanwhile, the state government, in pursuance of the Ministry of Home Affairs in this regard, has allowed the following activities with immediate effect. In an order today, Chief Secretary Temjin Toy stated that truck repairs along the highways with stipulated minimum distancing has been permitted to open. Besides other directives on the shops of neighborhood and standalone which are allowed to open, the shops located in crowded areas which offer no scope for enforcing satisfactory social distancing, like the Hong Kong Market, New Market in Dimapur Town, BOC Market in Kohima, etc., shall remain closed except for those shops or outlets dealing with food grains, vegetables, food items, medicines and other essential items and goods. Respective Deputy Commissioners may make assessment of such locations and issue suitable orders in this regard, the order stated. As COVID-19 continues to create havoc across the globe, scientists are racing to develop antidotes for the new coronavirus, which began infecting humans late last year. Scientists and researchers are exploring various avenues to come with medical treatments that can fight the novel coronavirus. One such treatment that's in focus right now is the convalescent plasma therapy. The initial results of limited trials of plasma therapy treatment have been positive and encouraging in India. The therapy was conducted in limited hospitals across India. Let's take a look at what the convalescent plasma therapy is all about. Plasma therapy is an experimental procedure for COVID-19 patients. In this treatment, plasma from a COVID-19 patient who has recovered from the disease is transfused into a coronavirus patient who is in a critical condition. The idea behind this therapy is that immunity can be transferred from a healthy person to a sick patient using convalescent plasma. For plasma therapy, doctors need plasma from COVID-19 patients who have already recovered. This therapy's concept is simple and is based on the premise that the blood of a patient who has recovered from COVID-19 contains antibodies with the specific ability of fighting novel coronavirus. The theory is that the recovered patient's antibodies, once ingested into someone under treatment, will begin targeting and fighting the novel coronavirus in the second patient. These antibodies are developed in the patient as part of the body's natural immune response to a foreign pathogen, or in this case, the novel coronavirus. These antibodies are highly specific to the invading pathogen and so work to eliminate the novel coronavirus from the patient's body. Once the patient has recovered, they donate their blood so that their antibodies can be used to treat other patients. The donated blood is then checked for the presence of any other disease-causing agents such as hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, etc. If deemed safe, the blood is then taken through a process to extract plasma, the liquid part of the blood that contains antibodies. The antibody-rich plasma, once extracted, is then ingested in the body of a patient under treatment. Let's just hope that this piece of news has been useful to all of you who have been curious about what the plasma therapy is all about. Moving on, and the death toll due to COVID-19 rose to 775 and the number of cases climbed to 24,506 in the country on Saturday, according to the Union Health Ministry. The number of active COVID-19 cases stood at 18,668, while 5,062 people were cured and discharged, and one patient had migrated, the ministry added. The total number of cases includes 77 foreign nationals. Briefing media in New Delhi, Health Ministry officials said in last 28 days, 15 districts have had no new case. He said till date there are 80 districts in the country that have reported no new cases in the last 14 days. The districts have maintained the status quo of no new cases, and also new districts get added into the category. Of the 775 deaths, Maharashtra tops the tally with 301 fatalities, followed by Gujarat at 127, Madhya Pradesh at 92, Delhi at 53, Andhra Pradesh at 29, Rajasthan at 27 and Telangana at 26. In the northeast, Meghalaya and Assam have reported one fatality each. Assam has registered 36 infections so far. Meghalaya has reported 12 cases, Manipur and Tripura have 2 cases each, while Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh have reported a case each. In the United States, the death toll due to the coronavirus pandemic crossed the 50,000 mark today, according to Johns Hopkins University. In the last 24 hours, 3,176 people died from the virus in the US. Globally, the COVID-19 cases exceeded 2.7 million, with more than 192,000 dead, the university said. The grim news comes as part of the US reopened after weeks of lockdown that has crippled the world's largest economy. The US accounted for nearly a third of the total number of cases, exceeding 869,000, and over a quarter of the fatalities with 50,031. It is one of the highest recorded numbers of death anywhere in the world since the pandemic began in China's Wuhan city last year. The number of COVID-19 cases in the US is more than the next 6 countries taken together: Spain with 219,764, Italy 192,994, France 159,495, Germany 154,545, United Kingdom 144,635, and Turkey with 104,912. We now take you to Guima, where a briefing is being made by the state government on the status of COVID-19 in the state.
Good evening. As of 3 p.m. today, a total of 613 samples have been sent for testing from the state. The results of 607 samples have been received and all are negative. The results of 6 samples are awaited. I would like to inform that the lockdown measures have been further modified and all shops, including neighborhood shops, standalone shops, shops in residential complexes with 50% strength of workers and with wearing of masks and social distancing being mandatory have been allowed to operate. However, shops in multi-brand and single-brand malls and in urban areas, the shops in marketing complexes will remain closed. Further, the shops in crowded areas which offer no scope for social distancing shall remain closed except those dealing with food items and other essential commodities. It may also be reiterated that saloons, dine-in restaurants, eateries, and departmental stores shall remain closed. Since the lockdown began, young entrepreneurs in the state through home delivery and e-commerce companies have been extending useful service. In order to promote this sector, Nagaland state government has announced financial assistance of Rs 25,000 to registered home delivery companies transporting essential commodities. The scheme is being implemented through the district administration, and anyone interested may approach the respective deputy commissioner, who would get the details and after due verifications forward to the government for consideration.
Under the initiative of the Horticulture Department, the Farmer Produce Organization FPO in Dimapur district have begun aiding the farmers in transportation and selling the produce of local farmers. The FPO had faced difficulties in obtaining the farm produce from local farmers owing to the lockdown, but with the intervention of the Horticulture Department, certain vehicles were allowed to ply after obtaining permit from the district administration. This has enabled the FPO to conveniently collect the vegetables and fruits from all the vegetable growers of the vegetable villages under the Department for Horticulture and easily market their products, which is benefiting the farmers and the general public as well. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition. Do subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and also follow us on Twitter. Do stay tuned as we try to bring lots more of these news and updates through this medium. Meanwhile, we request you to kindly take cognizance of all the directives issued by the government from time to time to contain the pandemic. Meanwhile, stay home and stay safe. From all of us here, it's bye for now and thanks for watching.